Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Yes, welcome to the fourth round of season 15 in Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. 17 car grid for today. My name is Enela Phoenix 1, and I'll be taking you through tonight's race, which will hopefully be another very exciting race in store for us. Unfortunately, we didn't have a stream last week. Neither me nor Jonathan were available. Jonathan also not here this week, so I'm on my own for the time being. For this week. But we will I'll still do my best to put on a good show, a good commentary. I've prepared. I've got the track map up. I've got drinks. I'm all set up to commentate on what will hopefully be a great race on my own. 36 laps around Zandvoort. Very tight, twisty track. Overtaking opportunities limited. But on the F1 game, honestly, that's not a thing. Apart from Monaco, maybe. Overtaking is never that difficult. You will be fine. You simply have to wait until the main straight sometimes, but you get to the main straight 36 times, you have 36 great chances to make a move. And then other places on the track where it's a bit more risky, but still possible, you know, on the second DS straight that Mihai is about to go on to. The first car out on the track... Oh! Okay, I thought he was just in the cover already, but no, you just was slowing down and someone passed. Who's that? Williams? Yeah, Williams of Pix. There's no Alpines today, actually, so if I see... Oh! Great timing. There comes the Alpine of Lanky Brown. I got excited for a moment there that I wouldn't have to confuse Williams and Alpine on the track map all the time. But, well, there's Lanky Brown. So now we do indeed have Alpine and Williams both racing once again, and I will be confusing them quite a bit. The first car on track then, the Williams of Pix. He'll set the benchmark for everybody else here. Last week, Gabri had a dominant performance, pole and victory. Which, well, he's understandably annoyed that the one time he actually converts his pole position and his incredible pace, it's not streamed and no one sees it. But I'm glad to report Gabri with a great race in Belgium. With, yeah, the full 25 points, well, not full will be 26, but the 25 points going to him. Pix almost sliding as we enter the final sector here. Well, he did slide, almost spinning, sorry, and very much so sliding. And now up to the line, that is a 1:10.595 for Pix. The first lap of the session, and I think we'll be seeing much faster times. Mihai 11.0 coming in later on. Gabri starting it up now, so McLaren coming up the final corner. That's Action Rick. And he's got the Sauber of either Aussie 3 or Viro behind him. Not too sure from this, let's check. It's Aussie 3, okay, so Action Rick will be the third car across the line in this session. And that's a 1:11.317, 3/10 of Mihai there. Then Aussie 3, 18.7, so he must have had a spin of some kind maybe on his lap to be that far off. Charlie though, a new fastest time, 1:10.570. Always immediately beats it, and Edwin immediately beats it. The first 1:09 of the session, 1:09.899 for the Aston Martin. Bob Woodinho across the line as well now, and that's a 1:10.507. A bit disappointing. Usually so strong in qualifying, but not the best of starts this qualifying session. Flavors up to the line in his Haas. That's a 1:09.835 and a provisional pole position for Flavors. Not something I would expect to be seeing today, but that's a very, very good lap time from him. At least for the moment, he's about half a 10 faster than Edwin. And that is very impressive. Edwin is certainly no slouch, so... And I mean, in general, some of the faster guys have put in laps already. I'll wait for the likes of Gabri, Sully, Sean. I think... Okay, Gabri with a 26.6, that's definitely same as Austin 3, must have had a spin or a major mistake somewhere. Currently on board with the Kick Sauber of DC Rival. Sean now with a 109.6. About 2 tenths faster than Flavors, so let's lament, wait for those guys, and then we really know what the level is like, what to expect from the fastest guys tonight. And easy viral now through the final corner. It's so bumpy through here. I had to turn down my force feedback, well, not for the, I can actually check, 109.8 dead by viral. I had to turn down the, oh well, okay, I can't see it without the wheel attached. It's the on-track effects. I had them at 50 before. I turned down to 25 because it was just killing. Well, no, it wasn't killing anything, but it was just loud. Like, there's so many bumps through there that the wheel is just constantly shaking going from that corner. 109.649 by Sully, 4,000th of a second only behind Sean. Very, very tight there. Desi with a 33.3, also with a major mistake. Gabri now with a 109.654, the exact same time as Sean Moore. Look at that top three, 645, 645, 649. That is incredibly close at the moment between Sean, Gabri and Sully. And we've got Desi coming up to the end of Sector 2 here. We'll see what his improvement is. 21.3 seconds, of course, a massive improvement on the previous lap. So we won't really know for sure where he's at until he gets to the line. Keeping overtake mode enabled all the way through the final corner, now all the way from the banking as well. And up to the line for Desi in the Red Bull. That's a 110.379, 9th place. His teammate Marcelio on a lap as well right now, I believe. Yes. So both Red Bulls out on track at the same time. A 24.7 first sector. Bit of a lift through the, one of the trickiest corners of the track, I would say. Especially in race trim. I think in qualifying it's actually not that bad. Because you can just take it flat. But for sure, in the race, turn 7 is really tricky. You just have to get it completely right, or you can understeer off track or oversteer, depending on the setup. But you will definitely get some kind of steering, and not the one that you want, you know? Either under or oversteer. So, up to the line for Marcelino. No lap time set yet, and his first lap of the session will be a 110.403. P9 and P10 for the two Red Bull boys right now. Mihai on his second lap of session as well, but he's already quite low on ES. I'm not sure if he just used it really early on, or if he's on an in-lap and forgot to turn off the ES or something like that, but he does seem to be pushing, so he just used all of his ES very early on in the lap, I believe. He's up by 76 thousandths, so a small improvement from Mihai. He might get into the 110s with that, but he needs about 5 tenths to even beat Pix, who is 1 place ahead of him. So unless there is a major improvement to be found in the final sector, I think Mihai will be staying in 14th, at least for the moment. 110.836, indeed he does stay in 14th, even after gaining another 2 tenths in the final sector. Charlie is invalidating this one. Bobodinho coming up to the line. He's currently down in 11th, usually quite a lot further up, so we'll see if that first lap was just really bad, or if he's lacking some pace around here. A 110.121, he does improve by almost 4 tenths, but still, it's only P8. So, not the best of qualifying for Bombardino, it looks like. Edwin up by 87 thousandths, up by just over 10th in the end, and jumps to 4th place, jumping Viral, Flavors, and Aussie 3. Still no laps from Lanky Brown, Kuko, and Bazooka. Currently, I believe no one actually on a push lap. Viral just started one. Previous best lap time from him, a 109.800. That's just over 1.5 tenths away from Sean Moore on pole position. Goes a bit deep here into the banking. And a little bit of a slide, and I think the lap is already over. Yeah, he's turned the EIS off, he's abandoned this run. Sully just behind him as well on laps now. And the same goes for Sean. Gabriel on an outlap right now. Taking a bit of Rake Dragon. Sully's abandoned his lap. We'll be on board with Sean, who's also abandoned his lap. Seems like no one can get it right now. Flavors about to start another lap. Aussie Dry as well. So the guys in 6th and 7th. The last ones in the 109s. After that, a bit of gap to Bobolinho. Aussie Dry through the first sector. Looked good from what I could see. And he is up by 14 thousandths. Bit of a lift into turn 7. Just to keep the car stable, I believe. A lot of old tech mode usage, even in the middle of the corners, and he does get punished for it a little bit, with a bit of a slide through there. And I think that might be the lap already. Yep, that's the lap done for Aussie Dry. We'll go on with Flavors. I couldn't see his split time in Sector 2, unfortunately, now, in Sector 1, sorry. 52 thousandths down. And now, oh, that could be a lap done as well, as he has a little bit of a wobble as he touches that curb on the inside line. And he's now down by over 2 tenths. Almost lifts some tire into the gravel, goes really deep, and I think that's Flavor's lap done completely now. We've got Pigs on another run as well now, down by 1.2 seconds. Sully going again on the same set of tires. Gabri also on a push lap right now. If he improves by even 1,000 of a second, he will take pole position, so let's keep an eye on him. He's improving by over a tenth. So Gabri, very much so on for pole position if he just gets this final sector right. Very nice lines in the final corner, and now it's just flat out down to the line. So this should be Gabri on pole position here in Zandvoort. Hugs the inside line all the way to the start-finish line. A 109.419 for BS Gabri. Sean has abandoned his lap, but Sully's up by 4 tenths. I was gonna say, Sean can't answer, but Sully definitely can, because look at this. A bit wide in the final corner, but it maybe allowed him to have a good exit. We'll see as he comes up to the line. A much wider line through the final bank corner there, and a 109.254 for Sully. He's lost a bit in the final sector, but it didn't even matter. Massively up on Gabri, over 1.5 tenths separating Sully and Gabri right now in P1 and P2. Aussie Dry with another run now. Bazooka in the meantime is gone up to P8 after previously not having an uptime set. Fandom Fox also just joined the lobby, so we're now up to 19 drivers. Kukyo on his first run, currently down in 18th. Of course, without a lap time set, both him and the two Alpines are stuck down at the bottom. .323 in the middle sector for Kuko. Of course, last season's champion. High expectations for him, you would think. In our second season on F1 24. And that has ended up being a 1:13.234. That's 17th position. 2 seconds of action, Rick. Bobolinho up by almost 2 tenths in the middle sector. Aussie Dry coming up to the lap as well. Edwin out on track also. We'll stay on both Edwin for just a second here. He is up by 66 thousandths. Aussie Dry up to the line. And he goes into 6th place, right by his teammate, training 88 thousandths. Bobolinho goes into 8th place, gains over 2 tenths, but stays where he was before, I believe. And then we had Edwin as well, up to the line. 66 thousandths gained in the middle sector, and over the line he's up by 94 thousandths, but stays in 4th place. Only moves closer to Sean ahead of him. Senio down by 5 tenths. Kuku up by almost 2 seconds here. On the same set of tires. So I think he's using this quali session as a bit of race practice. Unfortunately invalidate through the final corner. So no improvement coming from Kuko here. I believe. Yep, now we are in the calm before the storm. No one on laps at the moment. Top runners either on their way back to the pits, into the pits, or that's the same thing. Either into the pits, in the pits, or out of the pits right now, but no one on a push lap. At least I think so. Yeah. So the first car we're going to be seeing on another run, I believe, will be Flavors. currently sitting in 7th place. Also, I forgot to check race dry to wet looks like from Gabi. 86% after 45 minutes. Okay! So we might be seeing some rain in the race. And I'm also gonna quickly invite Jonathan. He said he might be here for the race, so might as well invite him if he makes it. And I'll do that before we go into the final runs of qualifying. We have a few more seconds of downtime here. I think Flavors is already halfway through his lap, so I apologize for missing this. I just need to set everything up and then I'll be fully focused on the rest of qualifying. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Aussie 3 is retired in the pit lane, I believe. Flavors and Sean already on their runs. Sean down by 68 thousandths. Flavors coming up to the end of Sector 2. Same mistake we saw him make last time, but this time he didn't get punished quite as much. Just a bit of a slide, he was caught it fairly quickly. And he is down by 70 thousandths. But if he improves, he could jump the 2 Sauber. He's not too far away from them. 35 thousandths only, separating him and Viral in 5th place there, and 25 thousand separating him and Aussie Dry. Although Viral just up in the 2nd place, 109.412, a massive improvement from the Sauber. Flavors coming up the line, and he goes 6th fastest, 109.777. Sean Moore will not be improving. We're looking at Gabri, we're looking at Sully, we're looking at the guys at the back of course as well. Kuko has one more chance here to have another run in qualifying, to get himself up to where he surely should be, 8 thousandths up for Gabri in the 1st sector. Sully with that monster run earlier, can he improve on that again? Gonna be a tough ask for sure. I'm sure he will give it his best. He's already almost 2 tenths down in the 1st sector. Cannot match what he did earlier. Not sure if he made a mistake or if the 1st sector was just that brilliant beforehand. 79 thousandths gained for Gabri. He needs to absolutely nail this final sector if he wants a chance of beating Sully. 109.254 to beat. Can Gabri do it? As we go around the final corner, Ferrari just hopping over those bumps and up to the line. It's a 109.398. He goes back into 2nd place, but it's nowhere near enough to beat Sully. That Aston Martin seems glued in for the top spot here in qualifying. We've got Edwin, Bobadino still going on, Bazooka as well, lots of cars still going on, of course. Flavors is done, Charlie's done, Action Break is done, and the 2 Alpines are done, Aussie 3 as well. Sean is done. Bobadino up by just over 10, sorry. Edwin up by 74 thousandths in the middle sector. We'll stay on with Bobadino as he comes up to the line, currently in 8th place. How far up the grid can he still go? Hopping over those bumps through the banking. And that's a 109.616, 4th place for Bobadino. Jumps up quite a few spots here at the end. Edwin is invalidated, will not be improving. We've got Bazooka. Kuko did not improve on P17, a 12.0 in the end. And Bazooka up to the line as a Red Bull spun around there atop the banking. Bazooka goes 8th fastest, 109.805. Desi it was who spun around through there. Mihai down by 15 seconds. And Gabri also down by 18 seconds, both on in-laps. Qualifying is officially done, I believe. Yeah, Desi spun as well. So yes, no more laps coming in. And Sully claims pole position, a 109.254 for the Aston Martin man. Followed by Gabri in 2nd place, a 109.398. Very close between himself and Viral, 14,000 separating him. Bobadino jumping up late there in qualifying, a 109.616, followed by Sean, 109.645, and Edwin, 109.683. All 3 of them in the 109.6s, very close between them. Flavors not too far behind as well, 109.777 in P7. Yeah, very good performance for Flavors, not usually one we see that far up in qualifying. Bazooka, 109.805, ending up in 8th place. Aussie 3 only 5 thousandths behind in 9th, and Always rounding out top 10 also in the 109.8s. So the gaps are really, really small around Zandvoort here. Of course, it's a a small track, so it only makes sense that the gaps wouldn't be that large, but still, the entire top 10 separated by just over 6/10. Desi in 11th, 110.057, the first car outside the 109s. Pix in 12th, 110.262, then Charlie, 110.270, Marcelio, 110.307, Mihai in 15th, 110.627, then Action Rig with a 111.317 in 16th, Kukyo in 17th with a 112.081, and two Alpines, Lucky Brown and Fandom Fox rounding out the grid in 18th and 19th without having set a lap time. So, there is quite a high percentage of rain by 45 minutes, but I assume there is no rain coming at 30. So we might see some rain, like in the last handful of laps, coming in, which will force drivers to pit onto intermediates, which will be very interesting now, the strategy, because it opens up the chance of maybe starting on the hard and just going all the way to the rain, but then you risk that the rain doesn't come and you have to make a pit stop like right at the end for dry tires again and throw away your entire race. But it also it's a very high risk, high reward strategy, Nat. If it works out, you are basically guaranteed to win. If it doesn't work out, you're basically guaranteed to be last. Well, not that extreme. Like, if you are that much faster, then you will not be last, but you see my point. It can guarantee you a win if it works out, and it can really screw you over if it doesn't. So it'll be very interesting to see what drivers go for here. Of course, they can now see a better weather report than what we saw in qualifying. So they have more information available that they can now use to make their final strategy decision. The main strategy here is the medium hard. The game does suggest, I believe, soft medium, but you will get quite a bit of wear, especially on the front left tire. But here we go! Enough strategy talk. The firefight lights are on. We are ready for lights out here in Zandvoort, and it is lights out! And away we go. Sully on the first position gets away really well. Gabri has no chance to have a look in turn 1. Rival though, around his outside perhaps through turn 1. Does he have the run? Yes, he does! Now, down towards turn 2 and 3. DC Rival still on the outside line, switches to the inside for the banked corner. Goes a bit deep. Bit of argy-bargy there going on between the Sauber and the Ferrari. And they are still side by side down towards turn 7 as we have yellow flags in behind. Gabri finally, with a better traction, a better exit, gets ahead of the Sauber and stays in second place in the end. Not too much movement behind either. It's Action Rig who was the yellow flag early on there. He is quite far behind the field. Mihai up into 10th with a great start here. Just making a move on Bazooka Joe. As Aussie 3 and Desi are side by side, and now with a run on Flavors as well. Aussie 3 with a great exit might even move up all the way into 7th here. Not quite, actually gets attacked by Desi once again into the braking zone. Aussie 3 on a soft compound of tires there, so he's gone for an alternative strategy to everybody else. Desi off the track, halfway over the curb, and has a terrible exit, loses many places there. I think he has lost about 3 or 4. He's ended up in 12th place at the end of all that. So we can now open up the tire graphic. Indeed, it's mostly mediums, a couple of softs, and only 2 hards for Charlie and Phantom Fox. So that tells me that the rain is either going to come a lot sooner than we thought it would, or it's not going to come, or that they think it might not come at all. Because otherwise, I think a lot more people would be going for the hard tire in the hopes of being able to go all the way until the rain comes down. Sean Moore all over the back of Bobodinho here. That seems to be the closest fight from the front runners, but well, at the moment, the entire field from P1 to P18. Oh no, we rival dropped out of the to Gabri. But well, from P3 to P19, we now have a DS train. From DC Rival to Action Rig, it's just Gabri and Sully who have been able to pull away at the front somewhat. 1.4 seconds. So Rival have to gain about 5 tenths to get back into contention for the lead of the race here. Of course, with the most recent patch, the smoke has gotten quite a bit worse. So expect that to maybe lead some carnage, because if you are at the back of a train, in fact, let's just go on board with Action Rig all the way at the back. I'm not sure how bad it is in the spectator cam, but as a driver, you will literally be blind. I'm not exaggerating. You will be blind. As Sean and Bobodinho pass Rival with the DRS there. I don't think it happens in the spectator cam actually. Yeah, okay. So this is what it should look like. But anyone who has driven on the Formula 1 video games, in even a semi-competitive level, knows the smoke glitch that every single time you enter a corner behind another car, they throw up lots and lots of smoke, and it's gotten even worse with the most recent patch that was supposed to fix it. So you basically cannot see where you're going, and that only gets worse the more cars there are ahead of you. I think Kuko just picked up a bit of damage there as he went into the back of Aussie 3. I'm not sure if that was... I definitely saw someone's front wing flying off. And Kuko did go into the back of him, so it might have been Kuko. But no, I can't see damage on the VCAP or the Sauber actually, so I'm not too sure. Someone up ahead must have damage, because I saw it from Kuko's POV, so it must be someone ahead of him. Gabri and Sully swap places. Gabri up into the lead of the race. Chasing back. It's Edwin! Edwin with the front right end plate missing there on the Aston Martin. But he's doing rather well to hold on to 6th place. He's got flavors breathing down his neck. The gap between Sully and Borbodinho growing more and more. 2.3 seconds. It was 1.5 earlier, while it was, well, from Sully to P3 I should say. Or from the leading train to the chasing train. So Gabri and Sully, at least in the first 4 laps of this race, in a world of their own in terms of the pace that they're showing. So Aussie 3 goes for a move on flavors and completes it in the middle sector. Very nice. Up into 7th place he goes, and Kuko also with a great opening phase of the race, already up into 9th after starting, was it down in 17th I believe? So he's already made up 8 places, is that right? Yeah, 8 places gained for Kuko, 5 places gained for Mihai. They've had great starts so far. Fun and Fox in the Hearts, only up to 16th. So there you can see the difference in strategy. Mihai and Kuko. Wow, Kuko! With a major moment in the final corner, just about catching it. But that could have ended in absolute disaster. What was I about to talk about? The difference in strategy. Phantom going for the hard, he's playing the long game. He's gonna be just trying to pick up some places where he can now, be patient. Stay in the train. Stay with everyone else, and then wait for the pit stop phases. And for the second stint in the race where he can put on the faster tire and show his pace. Thinking it's better to make use of the tire maybe once the field has sped out a bit and you can actually use that pace, while Kuko and Mihai are making use of the softer compound now to make the moves happen. So there's a difference there. You can either use it to make the overtake easier, or you can use it to actually get better lap times. Because right now the lap times will not be that different, since everybody has to just follow the car behind, the car in front of them, sorry. You can't really make up much time on track unless you are a car like Gabri or Borbodinho, who's leading a train. As Sully re-overtakes Gabri for the lead of the race. Not much fighting going on there, they might be just happy to keep swapping with the DRS as Rival and Sean battle over 4th. And this is exactly what Gabri and Sully are doing, because this is of course losing your time. Viral hanging it all the way around the outside and now to the inside. Beautiful stuff. We'd love to see. I'm very glad that the second train is being oh! Aussie Die making contact with Edwin and squeezes him off into the grass. Edwin almost, I think, that could have been a race-ending crash. Thankfully for Edwin, I don't think he even picked up any damage from that, but that was a very risky moment there. Mihai is understood off track there and as well, he's off into the gravel. And will rejoin the race all the way at the back of this train. Aussie 3 dropping multiple places from that there. Edwin, did he keep it like fully on the throttle while he was halfway on the grass pointing towards the barrier? That must have been yeah, very brave from Edwin that he managed to keep that not just out of the barrier but actually gain places in the process. Impressive stuff. As Rival is practically pushing Borbodinho through the banking. Once again, Gabri and Sully swapping up ahead. Like I said, they seem happy to work together here to just get these guys as far away as possible. Of course, if they work together, they can guarantee that they are 1-2 and that no one else can catch them. And then they can start fighting at the end when the gap is so large that they are fine anyway. Only makes sense for them. Charlie's in the pits quite early on here. Starting on the hard compound time. I'm guessing he has a wing change to make. Yeah, that's quite a bit of front wing damage there on the left side. So new nose on the V-carb and medium compound tire, sorry, put on. So he goes back out on track. A lot of time to be made up for him. He has to hope for a safety car to get back into the fight for these positions. And just look at this train. All the way from DC Rival in 3rd place to Mihai in 16th. Oh well, no, not quite. So Peaks in 13th, there's a bit of a gap to Phantom Fox and Desi, Mihai, Lanky and Action Rig. Aussie Dry looking at the back of Flavors there. Not sure how fast those softs still are, but Aussie Dry does seem to have quite a bit of pace if he's able to follow Mihai that closely. Bazooka though makes a move on Always, so perhaps the softs are showing a bit of wear. Gabri and Sully, for the first time, an actual battle going on here. Sully comes out on top. I had to just cut away from midfield to just show that. We've got Desi and Phantom battling through turn 1 as well. And they are now side by side into turns 2 and 3. Desi getting over the curb, almost under the steering into the center of Phantom Fox, but just about able to avoid it. Mihai, bit of a switchback. Doesn't quite have the traction needed to stay alongside though, so Desi does pull ahead once again in the end. Desi actually underfueling the car by almost a full lap, I see. So he could be in trouble later on with fuel. Flavors making a mistake, and Aussie Dry takes full advantage, immediately moves up into 7th place, but the gap to Edwin now opening up. Kuko with a beautiful switchback. Flavors with a missing front left end plate there, you can see it. And Kuko now trying to go around yet off the Haas, leaves him just about enough space on the inside line. And Kuko moving up into 8th place, another overtake for Kuko. Always and Pix battling into the final corner, not a place you usually see battles, and Always outbreaks Pix, very nice from the McLaren, as he moves up to 12th place there. Yeah, now another break in the train. We've got Sean, Vile and Bobadinho able to pull away. Edwin with the front wing damage, he will have a tough time to get back into 1 second to Bobadinho. As Marcelio moves up into 9th there against Flavors. Flavors definitely affected quite a bit by the damage. He's already lost 3 places in about half a lap there. And it might be more because Bazooka is all over the back of him now in that Ferrari. He has loads of energy to play with. Think he might be waiting for the DRS zones though, for the long braking zones, for a better opportunity. But you can definitely see Flavors struggling, just losing a bit of ground to Marcelio. Up ahead, and Flavors understeers onto the curb, bottoms out, and opens up the inside line for Bazooka. Another place lost for Flavors. That damage really hurting him. I'm not sure where he picked that up from. Very unfortunate. He was doing rather well there in the running in the points, in the good points, not just barely inside as well. But now he's stopped outside, and he's got Allwise and Pix looking at the back of his car and wondering when they will have their chance for a move. Edwin on the back of Aussie Dry here. He's just been overtaken by the server. Is he able to re-overtake down into turn 1? He's turned the DRS off, and they are pitting quite early on already. Lap 10. Both Aussie Dry and Edwin coming into the pits here. And that's hard compound tires for Edwin. And a wing change as well. Aussie Dry, of course, he was on the soft, so it makes more sense that he would pit this early. Also goes onto the hards. So Edwin will come out in 18th, Aussie Dry in 17th. And they are going for big undercuts here. Expect Kuko and Always to respond as well on those softs. Action Rick as well, of course. Although he's down in 16th. So he was not really concerned with Aussie Dry, but Kuko and Always, they were in the vicinity of him. So Always makes a move on Pix. Pix now trying to go around the outside of Flavors. Beautiful battling here. Respect and space being given. Pix has the inside line, which will turn to the outside for the second part of that chicane. Bit of argy-bargy, but all fine, still side by side. Beautiful stuff this is. Now into the final corner, I think Pix has finally pulled ahead. And Flavors dropping into 11th once again after the pit stops. Gabri and Sully swapping places once more. Bazooka and Kuko are in. Bazooka also going for quite an early stop of those mediums and onto a set of hard compound tires. Meantime, Sean has moved up to 3rd place. Always still running on those old softs, the same for Action Rigs. So McLaren going quite long in this race. On those soft tires. Aussie Dry has rejoined ahead of Kuko just about. And then Bazooka right behind. So these three now flying across the sandy dunes of Zandvoort together. Change the pack up ahead. Make up time before the pit stops. Jonathan just joined the lobby, so I'm assuming he's about to join the party as well. There we go. So my voice can rest a bit. I have been saved from solo commentary. Oh, Wise is left. I'll invite him back in as quickly as I can.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. And you?
I am good. How's the race?
Good so far. We've had a great bit of battles going on in the midfield. Gabriel and Sully have broken away at the front, but apart from that, we're just in the first pit stop of the race. A couple of undercuts coming in. The order right now: Gabriel, Sully, Sean, Rival, Bobrinho, Marcelio in 6th, then Pix, Flavors, Phantom and Always. Although Always just with the disconnect is about to be overtaken for 10th by Mihai. But Kuku, Aussie 3, Bazooka, Edwin, Charlie have already pitted.
And where were they before the pit stops?
I do not remember. But they were all like in the second train somewhere. Charlie retiring from the pits retiring from the session in the pits, sorry. So that's Charlie's race done. He was quite far behind the field. Mihai letting some people pass here. Not sure what happened to those guys. What's going on there? Sully and Gabi swapping once again down the straight. The gap stabilizing behind though a bit. Sean, Raul and Bobrinho seem to be more in agreement of what the order should be than the train was beforehand. So they can now make up a bit of time, bit of ground on the cars ahead. Instead of battling each other. Which is great for them, not so great for us. Always is now finally back in control. He's dropped all the way back to where Action Rig was. Although, is he? No, he's not. He's still on AI, I think, but he's not ghosting. This is weird. Yeah, because he's driving really slowly.
Weird.
And now Always is retired from the race, and he's left the session. He's pressed quit to main menu, and that retires your car. So that's Always race done. I guess he had the glitch where he can't take over the car, so that's really, really unfortunate for Always. But sadly, yeah, nothing we can do about that.
You'd think they would have fixed that by now.
You would think. I mean,
but that would be too smart.
Sully has almost broken DRS to Gabri here. Almost. Gabri did end up having it. And Gabri goes into the pits. Undercut coming in from BS Gabri, didn't speed, very crucial here. Onto the hard compound tire. This could be Gabri's chance to break DRS himself. Depends where he will come out in the train, of course. If he has clean air, it would be quite crucial for him.
It looks like he'll come out behind the Alpine.
He needs to be ahead of Mihai and Desi for sure, which he will be.
Yeah.
And he's not too close to Lanky Brown, so this is good for him.
That's not too bad. This
is quite good for him. He's got to put a couple seconds to Lanky Brown, 1.7. So he might catch him just at the end of the lap and then get a DRS pass on the main straight. That'd be perfect for him. We'll see what Sully does, if he responds to Gabi's pit stop immediately or if he goes long.
Because you can definitely go a bit longer on those mediums.
Yeah, so you could go for an overcut and try and get back into Gabi's DRS later, or you could just respond now to make sure that the straight stays the same and they are just in a 2-car train away from everybody else. Sully does respond immediately, goes into the pit lane.
And
Sully does speed!
Oh no.
A 10-second time penalty for Sully speeding in the pit lane. Just a bit too late in the brakes.
Over, probably.
Yeah, he needs one hell of a drive from here to get those 10 seconds to Gabri behind. He will come out, of course, in a similar position to Gabri. Only a second separated them before. Maybe Sully has jumped Lanky Brown. Gabri has not.
Wow.
So this could be Sully's last chance to really make anything happen. If he drops Lanky Brown out of DRS here, while Gabri is still stuck behind, Action Mick now the penalty for speeding the pit lane as well. So yeah, I mean, what Sully needs now is for Lanky Brown to hold up Gabri so that he can break DRS, and then he needs to drive the 20 laps of his life to get 8. Oh, Gabri spun!
Gabri!
Oh! What is going on in this race? Gabri just entering the corner halfway on the grass and completely loses it. And suddenly, this race is wide open because both of the two leaders were keeping it so calm and collected on this entire first stint. Have just... Well, I mean, Gabri hasn't thrown anything away yet, but certainly that has brought Sean, I think, back into DRS range. Almost. No, it hasn't.
Still 2 seconds
It
away.
hasn't. Jesus.
There was a bit of a gap between them. I don't know what happened. It was up to 4 seconds nearly.
Yeah, okay, so Gabri actually hasn't lost anything from that.
But he
Takes
got a
the
good
pit
bit of
lane.
time to Sully, which could be crucial later.
Yeah, he has lost a bit of time, sorry. I mean, the gap from him to Lanky Brown now is 2.5. Lanky Brown is 8/10 away from Sully. So we've got about a bit over 3 seconds from Gabri to Sully. So Sully needs to gain 7 seconds in 20 laps.
Doable.
Yeah, it is doable. It is doable.
Not easy though.
Yeah, that's definitely not easy. I mean, Gabri is not exactly slow.
No.
Sully
And I
did
just have
have
to get
a
Gabri
very
got
impressive
pole.
qualifying. Though he was 1.5 tenths clear of Gabri in second place. So he needs to have.
Gabri did not get pole.
Yeah, Gabri didn't get pole for once. It was Sully who had a great qualifying. He's now 1.7 seconds back from Phantom Fox. He's gonna catch him, I think, halfway through next lap. Meanwhile, Boborino, DC Viral, Marcelio at the front, still out on those old medium tires. Phantom Fox, of course, on the old hards also. Lanky Brown and Desi going quite long as well, but they are a bit further back than the top 3.
And you could always have the addition of a safety car at any point. Still 17 of the 19 in the race, so Desi speeds himself.
And goes on
That's
to
what the third
softs.
driver.
So Desi
Interesting.
with surely a 2-stop. Interesting strategy. He will come out in 13th ahead of Flavors. Flavors, with that wing change he had to make in the pit lane, of course, has dropped quite far back. He was running well in the points earlier, then picked up some damage, dropped to 11th or 12th, just outside the points. It's Mihai and Bazooka battle over 15th here. Mihai tries to get around the outside through turn 1. On the hard compound tire, Bazooka should have the advantage on those mediums. And indeed, Bazooka pulls ahead with the inside line. And hangs on the 15th. Still no pit, still no pit for the medium runners at the front. Boborino, Viral, Marcelio also staying out. Sully is caught up the Phantom and now will use the DRS to just fly past the Alpine. And the
Gabri's
same will go
gonna
for
do the
Gabri
same
and
on
Lanky Brown, you would assume. Yellow
Ooh.
flags for Desi, who's
Desi's
crashed
out.
out. And a full
And
core
there is
safety
a
car has
safety
been
car.
deployed.
What did I say a lap ago?
That is some of the greatest commentator cursing I've ever seen.
It's not a curse. I didn't curse anyone. I said
You
they could
curse
easily
Sully and
still do
Gabri,
one.
surely. The commentator's blessing for Boborino, Viral, Marcelio, Phantom Fox, Lanky Brown though, as they did not make their pit stops yet. So they can now
Yeah.
pit onto a...
You'd have to assume Sully would pit too.
yeah, surely Sully's gonna go into the medium to pit, get the 10-second penalty gone.
And I think Gabri should pit too. I do think so.
I don't know.
Being first on 4-lap old hard, I don't think is as good as 6th or 5th on... Sorry, 5th on fresh mediums.
But then, imagine all the cars behind him don't pit. He'll end up probably between Aussie Dry and Flavors. So he'll be...
I think
10th.
nearly everyone is gonna pit here.
We'll see, we'll see.
Not will, but should.
I think the guys who just pitted anyway, I'm not sure if they will. I mean, the guys who didn't pit, of course, no question about it, they are going to pit. It's a perfect window anyway. So
Yes.
obviously they are all going to be in here.
Sully should to serve.
Sully
for 10
has to get the
seconds.
penalty served, so he will pit. The cars ahead of Gabri will all pit. The cars behind them we don't know, so if I was Gabri I'd stay out.
Solves for Berbertino.
Gabri's
Gabri
coming
just
in,
did.
okay. So he's listening to you, not to me.
Sean does stay out. though. He's
Soft
listening
for
to you.
18 laps.
Well, you're gonna, I suppose, 2 or 3 on the under safety car.
That's
But
not
still,
that's
I
not gonna
don't-
work. That's There's so many on softs, what's going on?
Viral went onto fresh hards. He was one of the only few not to go into the softs.
Sonny has dropped to 10th position here.
Phantom only loses one spot from that.
Aussie, Dry and Sean, the only ones in the top 10 not to pit.
This is interesting now, the grid is completely shaken up.
Bombardino is in the lead of the race on those softs, but I am confused by how many people went. I mean, 4 people went softs.
I think they were all no, Phantom wasn't a medium runner. He had no reason to go onto the softs. But the others, I can somewhat see their point.
Or they wouldn't want to go to the hard, or what?
Yeah.
I'd much rather do 18 laps on hards and 18 laps on softs. Let's get that very much clear.
I know, I would rather, but it's at least somewhat of a consideration. A wrong consideration, maybe. Probably.
I mean, the perfect tire for this, of course, is the medium. But
yes,
I mean,
which Phantom had the choice of going onto, by the way.
The thing is, the strategy that you go for in Zandvoort normally, like the ideal strategy, is about lap 18.
18, yeah.
Yeah, 18 hard medium. So this was actually perfect timing for a pit stop onto hard compound tires anyway. If you start on the medium, and if you start on the hard, it's perfect timing to switch into mediums. So I'm surprised that we saw so many softs.
No,
I mean, I get maybe the thinking that you break the DRS and then just try and hold on. I mean, if Bombardino drives away here, because Sean is on, well, not old hards, but a bit older hards, you know, 5 laps. Bombardino can use that to create a gap and then just control the race from there and hope that the softs hold on enough that he can keep Viral far enough away. Because of course Viral now has to contest with the likes of Marcelio and Phantom Fox on their fresh softs. This could be interesting.
I don't think this is the last safety car we'll see though.
I mean, if there's no more safety cars, I think Rival is now in the best position to win this race. I think strategy-wise it would be Gabri, of course. Well, Gabri, Kuko, Sully on the fresh mediums. But Gabri is the furthest ahead of us. But I think Viral with the track position that he has in 3rd place and being on the hard compound tire instead of the soft. Especially because Aussie Dry on the 10 lap old hards might create a bit of a gap in the train that the top 4 might be able to pull away. He's going to be holding up quite a few guys.
I think actually Rick will catch in time.
I think we've got one more lap. So it would be quite late if it gets called in now. Although Codemasters has never let that stop them from calling in safety cars. Yep.
That's a normal-ish time. It's not the worst.
Yep, so here we go. Bombardino controlling the pace now as we go down towards the final corner. He can go at any moment. Well, he can't go now, he will catch the safety car, but he can go wherever he wants once the safety car's in the pit lane. Go up the banking. We'll have a 15 lap sprint to the end. Bombardino's gone quite early and he's caught Sean Moore off guard very well there. Bombardino safe in P1. Phantom Fox with a great run on Aussie Dry. He might try and send it around the outside through turn 1 through the gas. Phantom Fox goes deep and has to abandon the move. Continuing to be stuck behind the hard runner there. That's actually what I said. Aussie Dry on those old hards. He's gonna cause a bit of a blockade here. It's already 7 tenths back from Marcelio. Phantom Fox desperate to make a move happen. Now burning all of his ERS and finally gets ahead of the Sauber. And Gabri is surely going to try and follow suit as soon as possible. Look at that, he almost got to the back of him through turn 7. Meanwhile at the front...
Kuko's off, he's hit the wall.
Oh yeah, and he's lost his entire front wing, Jesus! That's Kuko's race done. As he gets overtaken by Flavors as well, of course he'll now be overtaken by everyone. Viral dropping almost a second back from Sean. His tires are very cold it seems. And Sean dropping over a second back from Bombardino. So far this has worked out really well for Bombardino on those fresh soft tires. He's dropped the field. Exactly what I said he might try. Just drive away, control the race, and hope the softs last. But that last pass is what I'd be worried about. Marcellia now of course on those fresh softs. Much better start in this restart than Viral. And he makes a move down towards turn 1 I think with the inside line. He should have a good chance of making that move work. No! Viral outbreaks him on the outside line. Aussie 3 has now been passed by Gabri and has now got Lanky Brown staring at the back of his car. Sully sending it up the inside of Lanky Brown, a beautiful move, and Edwin trying to follow through the two Aston Martins flying in tandem. Although Edwin does get caught behind Lanky Brown. So much for that then, the Aston Martins have been separated. Cuckoo onto the intermediate tires. Does he know? I mean, there was rain reported. That's why there's so many softs.
No, I was gonna say it a lot
I
ago.
forgot.
It looks dark.
Yeah, Gabby
look
told me
dark.
there'd be rain. I forgot. They're not
And I was
trying to
gonna
go to
say-
the end. They're just trying to go to the rain. Of course, Cuckoo. I mean, it's very early for Inter. It hasn't even started raining, so I'm not sure what Cuckoo is playing at. But I guess if you're gonna get that front wing changed anyway, and if the rain is coming in like a lap or so, that makes sense. But this confuses me even more. Why did everyone pit then? Oh, look at this run for Phantom Fox on Viral and on Marcelio as well, maybe down towards turn 1. Got yellow flags for Bazooka, who's
Bazooka's
trapped
out.
coming out of the final
And
corner, and
Flavors is out.
another safety car, and Flavors is out as well!
On the main straight.
What has happened there? Flavors and Bazooka. The rain is starting to come down now. So this is
Yes.
well,
Everyone's gonna
perfect
pick
timing.
Winters
Everyone
here.
into the pits for Inters.
You'd have to assume so. Anyone that says that will be cooked.
Yeah, you have to pit for Inters. I mean, you get a bit of tire wear, of course, with the early stop onto Inters, but you save a full pit stop, so
Worth it.
yeah. Well, Flavors and Bazooka crashing, coming out of the banking onto the main straight. I can only assume that they tried to do the same thing you did, and have the overtake open through the banking and just died.
It's so stupid that that happened.
No, it's realistic. The banking is bumpy, and with the overtake button, you're putting a lot of power
Yeah,
on
but they have
the track.
They have DRS on it.
Well, yeah, they shouldn't, but they do. We just saw why they shouldn't, probably. Right,
I think
so
Flavors crashed a bit
there's
after.
gonna be some double stacks here as well, though. Edwin, Aussie 3, maybe Pix, and Bobbardino speed in the pit lane.
Oh my god. He had a 3-second gap. He had no pressure from behind
Marcelio
to
speeds
get
in the
into
pit lane as well.
I
Oh
didn't
no,
even see that one
guys.
come up.
Did he? Yeah, he did. Double stack, of course, and Alpine. Bobbardino comes out in the lead with the 10-second penalty. Sean Moon in second. Marcelio in third with a 10-second penalty. Then Viral. Phantom Fox. Mihai gets a drive-through.
Mihai's speed.
Mihai, how do you speed in the wet on soft tires? Do you spin like into a drive-through? I don't know, mate. How do you actually manage that?
Mihai Heritage. If I'm Bobbardino and Marcelio, I pit right now. I'm
But why?
firm your L early.
Mihai! What?
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Okay, okay, fair enough. You just didn't care anymore.
I think I would definitely consider pitting anyway, because obviously you're at the front of the field, but 10 seconds.
You'll be literally last. I think being literally last is not worth 10 seconds.
Maybe.
What? Cuckoo pit onto Inters before it started raining. Now that it's raining, it's going back to dries. What is he cooking?
Let him cook.
I mean, I can only assume he's like trying
Gonna
anything
pit
and
again.
everything because he's last. And he has nothing to lose. So if this rain stays exactly like this and doesn't get any more intense, he might be cooking now. Because I think we are
would've gone
just
to
about
stop,
still
though.
in dry tire conditions. So if the thinking is, if we stay exactly like this, he's winning the race now. And if we don't, he's last, which he would have been anyway. Oh my god, he's
Yeah,
not
he's
even.
nearly died.
Yeah, he's almost crashed on the safety car.
I did say that wouldn't be the last safety car.
Yeah, Cuckoo, I don't think this is the right strat, mate.
It's a bit old. He's clearly got the speed. Look at him. Look at the time he is gaining on Action Rick.
Admittedly, Action Rick is behind the safety car, but
Not the point.
the safety car. What tires actually does the safety car have? I assume it's some kind of all-weather tire.
Yeah, you'd have to assume so.
I imagine the safety car comes in for a pit stop. I mean, he hasn't crashed, so it can't be that bad.
He is firming it. I thought maybe we'd see him pit and he'd have like the lap fresher tires, but no, he's firming it.
The rain is getting more intense though, so I have bad news if Kuku actually... I mean, of course, I'm not sure if he's actually being as big brain as I'm attributing him to be right now, with like gambling for everything in case this rain doesn't get any more intense, and him then being the car who would be the only one on dry tires, he would benefit massively, or if he's just taking the piss.
Yeah, you never know in Div 2.
I mean, but I feel like being in 13th, only 3 cars away from the points, you're not going to be taking the piss. Actually, has a drive-through, he might be. Safety car in this lap. Bobodinho once again will control the restart with Sean behind him. Then Marcelio in third with a 10-second penalty. Same for Bobodinho, Kuku with a drive-through. So essentially the order is Sean, Viral, Phantom Fox. Once you add the penalties, but out on track, Bobodinho leads ahead of Sean and Marcelio. So, slowing on the back once again, the safety car on its way back to the pit lane. And once it's in, Bobodinho can go. He's waiting, 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 and now he's gone. Quite early once again. Doesn't have quite the best traction, and Sean is on the back of him. Sean might actually have a run down towards turn 1 with the slipstream. We'll see.
Phantom and Viral though.
Sean has a little look up the inside, doesn't quite go for it. Phantom though, up the inside of Viral into turn 1, yes. And with better traction on the inside line, I think he might have gotten him already. Yes, that's Phantom moving up into 4th place, and now Gabri on the back of Viral. Has a look up the inside.
Wanted to go down the inside there.
Now we've got Sully also at the back of Gabri. Of course, the two were fighting for the race mode earlier. Now they're fighting over 6th and 7th. All of these safety cars have hurt them quite a bit. Oh, Gabri got to the back of Viral, and Sully immediately takes advantage, sends it up the inside of Gabri, completes the move. Not sure if that was even planned. Well, definitely not planned, but if that was even him trying to go for a move or just trying to avoid a crash, but either way, Sully's gained a place of that. And Gabri, I don't think he picked up any damage going to the back of Viral, so he is fine as well. He's just lost 1 place to Sully. Bobodinho still in the lead. Sean wasn't able to complete that move in the turn 1. Phantom though, on the back of Marcelio. Marcelio with a 10-second time penalty. He needs to just make sure he is as far away as possible from the cars behind him, so that the penalty doesn't cost him too much. So I think if Phantom goes for the move, he might just keep the door open and let him go. Phantom now using overtake mode, all the way down the straight. Marcelio not defending the inside line, Phantom still can't go for it. In behind, Gabri having a little look up the inside, but simply too far back against Sully, has to stick behind in 7th place for the moment still. Kuku speeding the pit lane with a 10-second time penalty, I assume. Yep, there we go. Phantom Fox now with a switchback on Marcelio and all the way down towards turn 7 here in the flat out section. Always so scary seeing cars side by side through there, because one little tap and you go flying. But it's worked out. Phantom Fox moves up into 3rd place. Marcelio now. Oh, he's understeered on the curb and gets jumped by Viral and maybe Sully as well, not quite.
Gabri sent it down the inside of Aussie Dry.
Yeah, when did Gabri get jumped by Aussie Dry actually?
Question. I don't know.
He was ahead of him earlier, I believe. Well, Sully now staring at the back of the Red Bull. And we're looking for a move down towards turn 1 maybe, but as well, at the front, Sean, as Bobodinho is all over the place in the banking. Sean and maybe Phantom as well are gonna try and take advantage of that. Sean, up the inside he goes into turn 1, outbrakes himself though, and Bobodinho has a chance at the switchback. No, the gap not quite wide enough. Here comes Phantom down the exit. Takes advantage of Bobodinho having to back out and losing momentum. There he goes, Phantom up into P2. And now it's a straight up fight. Sean against Phantom for the win of the race here. Rival still stuck behind Bobodinho. Bobodinho of course the penalty, not really in contention. And then next cars, Sully, Aussie Dry, Gabri, Lanky, Edwin, Pix and Action Rick, all caught up behind Marcelio here. Sully goes into the back of him through turn 7. Simply can't find a way around him. They are all practically pushing each other here in the middle sector. So close together. As we see Lanky Brown and Edwin battling over 9th. Edwin completing the move. Lanky Brown does not send him back up the inside. That would have ended in tears, so I'm glad he didn't. Viral on the back of Bombardino. Sully on the back of Celio. Those two are the main ones to look out for at the moment. Phantom is a bit further away from Sean. He has to recharge from ERS. We might be seeing that battle heating up towards the end of the race. Sully, a bit of a rear lock into the final corner. You can see him sliding the car in.
Gabby has a lot of speed in comparison to Aussie Drive, but sure, just can't get around that outside.
Sully now against Celio on the inside line of turn 1. Breaks as late as he possibly can, gets into the apex. And now on the exit, a traction drill, and Sully pulls ahead. Oh! That almost ended in a crash, I believe. There was a bit of contact going on. Gabri hitting the side pod of Aussie Drive, but thankfully the side pod glitch was fixed a couple of years ago, so his car has not been sent into a 360 spin with immediate effect. He was able to catch it in time. Aussie Drive going a bit deep through turn 7.
Marcelio's
off. And he's lost another 2 places there. And now Edwin as well.
And he's lost the car to the... Gee.
At this point Marcelio is already down to 9. He restarted the race in 3rd. And he's losing 10-second penalty, so he is effectively looking at a last place here, which is really unfortunate. That penalty is going to cost him everything. Of course, he's already lost quite a few places on track as well. The gap between Phantom and Bombardino opening up more and more. So we do have a pretty set top 2 there in Sean and Phantom. It does not look like anyone can catch him still. Even if they have the pace, they have been stuck behind the other cars for too long. So they weren't able to show. Marcelio into the pit lane he goes. Interesting. Not sure what he would be pitting for. We are nowhere near full wets, and we are nowhere near dry tires either. And I don't think any freshen of Inters will do you much good.
He's doing full wet.
I suppose he might as well. He wasn't gonna score points anyway, so... If the rain gets crazy intense now, which, I mean, the full wet is pretty useless in this game, sadly. Which is realistic.
Realistic.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even if you get to full wet conditions, the Inter is not slower. I am yet to see a race where the full wet is actually the faster tire for more than like 3 laps. All year. But we'll see if it works out for Marcelio. He hasn't got anything to lose, he might as well try it. 26 seconds from him for action breaks, so keep an eye on that, I suppose. Because we do have, yeah, I would say a good amount of rain. Like in past games, I would definitely say this is full wet conditions. You would just probably run out of laps if you can catch anyone.
In past games, this would still look like dry weather. Visually.
Good point, actually, yeah. If this was like F1 23, the track would look bone dry. And everyone is settling into that little train right now. Not much movement happening. They are all just sitting behind. It's almost like an esports race, this. It's boring. Someone send it.
Where's the Div 2 we know and love?
Well, they're P13 and downwards, mate.
7 DNFs. And we're still not done.
We still got 5 laps to go, exactly. Marcelio has lost 3 seconds to action break already, so I think that answers your our question regarding the wet tires. And he's back in the pits. I think he's gonna go back onto Inters as well. Oh, Aussie Drive with a big moment there. And that enables Sully to make the overtake on him happen. Maybe. They're side by side always in the corner. Now down towards the end of the lap. A little chicane. Aussie down the inside would return to the outside, so I think Sully has the advantage. Indeed he does. And Gabri sneaking up the inside also. But not able to make anything happen. Aussie Drive though quite low on the ES, Gabri has a lot more. So he has a good chance down towards turn 1 here. And there he goes, up the inside.
Very hesitant on the brakes there.
Yeah, that cost him. Needs to commit a bit more, I guess.
Maybe he just didn't have the confidence in the wet weather.
Yeah, I mean, which is fair enough. You'd rather them back out than crash.
Yeah.
Right now, though, Gabriel looking at P6, Sully looking at P4, and those are our main championship contenders at the early stages of this season. The current standings: Sully on 55, Gabriel on 43, and next car is Edwin on 27. So,
Oh, look at how close they all are.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Bobo Neo has now been passed by Rival, and now Sully up the inside, Aussie Dry around the outside, 3
look,
wide
Gabri
middles, and
too.
Gabri. Beautiful move
2
that
and
sneaks
1.
past both of them, up the inside he goes, with a beautiful switchback.
And Porpedinho from 3rd to 8th.
Now, Lanky Brown going around the outside, might be 9th. Look at this. Yes,
What?
from 3rd to 9th in 1 sector, and the
Could be
rain is
10th.
really coming down now, look at this. Picks up the inside as well, Bobortinho has lost all confidence.
Porpedinho in less than a lap loses 6th position, and Phantom up into the
Oh!
lead.
The battle for the lead, yes. They're
But showing
battling
us
side
better
by
traction
side.
out of the corner, and he's
Oh.
going to keep the lead.
I think the rain is really... Yeah, look at how careful they're being on the throttle.
You can see the spray as well.
Yeah, I think this would actually be now full wet conditions, even on this game. At least for like 2 laps until the track has been dried out by them. Because that's actually simulated, that's why that's useless. Because the full wets, if once you use the full wets, the track just starts drying out again. Boborneo goes wide through turn 7 and sneaks up the inside. Boborneo dropping now to 10th, and now the only car is battling his action rig for the last points peg position with his 10-second penalty.
Gabri sends it on Sully. He's got confidence now.
Or maybe he's just not lost as much confidence as everybody else has in this increased rain at right at the end.
Sully, no.
Oh yeah, you can
he
see
had
Sully
a-
sliding on the brakes. He had to correct there. And now Phantom all over the back of Sean as we head up the Manking. Phantom, look at this! He keeps it fully flat. Sean has a lift.
What? And he
Beautiful
was
stuff,
burning
Phantom.
overtake. In the dry, apparently I tied, but in the wet, he can do that fine. Make it make sense.
Yeah, he must have some incredible traction there. Still
What
didn't
is-
complete
what
the
in
move.
Oh, he's had a moment on the curb.
I think Sean must have like way less wing on the car because
Phantom
I mean,
has the
he had to lift.
2022 Ron Hard grip packs.
yeah, I mean Phantom kept it fully flat the Manking, overtake more than enabled, and still Sean Moon had the better run down towards turn 1. So
Was it not the other way around?
no, Phantom was the car behind. He was the one who kept
Oh,
it
yeah,
flat.
okay.
So Sean must have either no wing or Phantom must have all of the wing, or both. We've now got Gabri staring in the back of DC Rival for 3rd place. The battle for the last podium spot here between Rival, Gabri and Sully. Austin Dry is a bit further behind. And a battle for the win
And
between
Gabri has
Sean
it.
and Phantom. Of course also Edwin and Lanky Brown battling over 7th. We've got 2 laps left in this race. And so far, nothing is decided.
Let's see, can Phantom floor it again with the DRS? He's not gonna try. Still close to that. It is definitely still flat.
Yeah, but he's quite far away from Sean. He will not be able to make a move like that happen like that. Gabri, win the system of Viro though, who defends the inside line. Back to the outside he goes.
Like, yeah, he doesn't know where to go. And neither does Gabri, who stays behind.
Yeah, the one defensive move, then back to the racing line. That's fully illegal. Nothing wrong there. If he'd done another move, that would have been illegal. Oh, Viral sideways. Under brakes there for the banking.
This is the penultimate lap of the race.
Yeah, you have to make a move now, pretty much. You're running out of time. And it's not like the dry conditions where you can just fly past at the as a last possible chance.
Look at
You
the
have
speed
to
Gabri
actually...
has through here.
Oh, look at this! Sully with the run now! As Gabri had to avoid running to the back of Rival. Sully's up the inside of him in the middle sector here in the fast corners. Going to the slow section now. There's
If
still
Gabri has to brake
Sully.
on the outside, he does.
Yeah, Sully
Gabri
all over
just
the
has
place
the
there
better
with
grip.
overtake enabled. Sully, press your overtake
Overtake
button
enabled
again, you
in a
dickhead.
corner.
There we go. I think what, yeah, it actually cost him that he kept the auto enabled all the way through the corner because he just had the wobble on the exit.
And he's doing it again.
Yeah, he's just not turning it off.
Interesting strategy. So this
Well,
is it.
one last
Phantom,
chance, really,
probably
for Phantom
last
Fox.
chance.
And he's miles behind.
He's not even burning.
Yeah, I think Sean, well, unless he makes a mistake somewhere on this last lap, he should be able to handle this.
Gabri's gaining. He is gaining. He's gonna
No chance, too
stay
far behind.
though.
And now Sean is really pulling away from Phantom Fox. What's going on here? Sean has activated some kind of extra gear here on the last lap. And our 3-time world champion, may he finally be back? It looks like it for sure. Phantom is closing in once again though, this might not be over yet. Phantom in the Alpine, Sean in the Williams. As we approach the final few corners of this Grand Prix, the fight for the win is still on. No DRS of course, so Phantom will have a tough time
Gabri's
making it
got
happen.
such a better exit here.
Gabri and
Gabriel
Viral
fights.
also of course battling over third.
This for the last podium, so now Var with the inside line. Contact between the two. Gabby does he have the grip on that outside? Not quite. And then in the background, as he joins Sully are wheel to wheel. This and
I
Gabby
simply
and
can't
Var
go away from this, even though
on
the leaders are coming from the
inside.
final corner.
Contact
This is
made, but
beautiful stuff.
Gabby's gonna have to settle for fourth, it seems.
Yes, and Sean comes up to
And
the line, but
Phantom-
Phantom Fox,
and
has he have to run on him?
Oh.
No, he doesn't. Sean
No.
wins the Dutch Grand Prix out of Phantom Fox, and then Viral and
look at
Gabri
this,
side by side
oh.
through the final corner. Oh my god. Now down to the line, drag race. I think Viral will just about hang on. Yes, he will. So, Jesus Christ, what a race this has been. Sean takes home the 25 points. He and Zandvoort and of Phantom Fox. A great battle all the way to the line. Viral, Gabri, Sully, Aussie Drive, what a last lap battle they just had from 3rd to 6th. Lanky Brown coming out in 7th, Edwin 8th, Dan Pix in 9th. What a race. Van der Vox, of course, with the Driver of the Day award from last to 2nd. Almost completing the last to
Did
first
he eat
here.
dinner?
No, he just barely got into the lobby in time.
Ah.
But Sean, back on the top step. After a bit of a long time away from him. Our 3-time champion. Back with a vengeance. And maybe announcing himself as an outsider for a title fight in this season. Of course, he's now close the gap to Sully and Gabri by quite a bit. He had previously been 5th place on 22 points, so he was 33 points behind Sully. Well, he scored 25 points. Sully only scored 10, so that gap has gone down to just 18 points. Action Rick rounding out top 10, picking up 1 point. Bobadino with the fastest lap, also bringing home 1 point, 11th, and then Marcelio, Kuko, Mihai, Flavors, Bazooka, Desi, Always, and Charlie with DNFs. Well, that's been a Dutch Grand Prix. Another
A pretty good
absolute
one.
classic. Division 2 simply never disappoints.
Yeah, why can't we get this in Div 1?
Because we don't have 20 drivers. That's the entire reason.
Simply get 20 drivers.
Well, you heard the man. Everyone was watching, which I'm sure is hundreds of people. Join F Total Division 1 now.
I'm really helping things by not being able to race for the next like 3 weeks. 4%, 5.
Yeah.
Up until Christmas, pretty much.
Well. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back with the next F Total race on Saturday in the Singapore Grand Prix. It's always 7:30 PM UK time. And of course, in 7 days from now on Wednesday, the Singapore Grand Prix in Division 2. And please, Jonathan, be there for that. I do not want to commentate a Singapore race on my own. That would be so boring. That is so long.
I will try.
Right. Any final words from you?
congratulations to Sean on being back on the top step, and well done to Div2 for yet another great race.
Well, great words from Jonathan. I can not add anything to that. So I thank you for watching, and enjoy your evening. Goodbye, everyone.